us to where civilization may be heading next. Artificial intelligence, robotics, automation, and people including Bill Gates have predicted that increasingly capable AI could eventually perform enormous amounts of work currently done by human beings. Nobody knows actually what will happen. Maybe AI replaces huge numbers of jobs, maybe it transforms them, and maybe entirely new forms of work appear. We never know. History has surprised us before. But forget that prediction just for a moment, please. Let's conduct an experiment. Imagine we built a civilization where machines produced almost everything we need. Food is abundant, energy is abundant, healthcare is extraordinary, robots perform dangerous work, AIs handle administration, machines manufacture our goods. Human beings are no longer needed to spend most of their waking life working, simply just to survive. Woohoo! Fantastic, we've won! But have we? Because now I have another question. What are we going to do tomorrow morning? And the morning after that, and the morning after that? If nobody needs us to work, if everything you need is just simply provided, if the machines can calculate faster than we can, write faster than we can, build faster than we can, invent things faster than we can, what is the human being for? And I don't mean economically useful. A human being doesn't need to justify their existence through productivity. Psychologically, achievements, mystery, responsibility, curiosity, challenge. There is an obvious argument there, isn't there? Take away the necessity to work and people will simply become lazy, right? Would we become lazy? No, because we've actually tested a tiny version of this assumption. Finland ran a basic income experiment involving 2,000 unemployed people. Participants received money without the usual conditions attached to the unemployment benefit. And they didn't simply collapse into their sofa and abandon civilization forever. Their daily life was different. Whilst recipients reported improvements in things such as life satisfaction and economic security. Now, Finland's experiment does not tell us what would happen in some future civilization where nobody needs to work. But it does challenge the simplistic idea that if humans aren't consistently threatened with economic insecurity, they automatically become useless. So perhaps we've misunderstood the problem. Perhaps humans don't need suffering. I certainly don't think we should romanticize suffering. Disease isn't character building for the person who's passing from it. Poverty isn't noble when your child is hungry. Trauma isn't some magical requirement for wisdom. Civilization should eliminate unnecessary suffering wherever they can, of course. But suffering and challenge are not the same thing. And that distinction may become incredibly important as we move into the future, because human beings repeatedly choose difficulty every day in multiple different ways. We climb a mountain when your thoughts are just saying, just give in, you can't do it. We run marathons when our legs feel like jelly, but we just keep pushing through. Taking advanced classes like advanced mathematics, that may just hurt our brains. Raise children despite knowing we'll lose sleep, lose our mind and worry. We build businesses that we might know that will just fail, but but we keep going regardless. We write books that possibly nobody may ever read, but we still write them. Spend decades trying to answer scientific questions that may never be solved. And why? Why do human beings do this? Perhaps because human beings don't simply want pleasure or just an easy life. We want something to reach for, to reach towards, to achieve, to know we worked hard for it. We peered in sweat and tears, sleepless nights, and failed attempts over and over again. So perhaps humanity's mistakes would be confusing a life without unnecessary suffering with a life requiring nothing from us. Should we move unnecessary suffering where we should? Absolutely. But remove every mountain from the human landscape, and what happens to the part of us that learned to climb?